Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good morning. Good morning. So, we explored the topic today. Do I trust my child's unfolding? Steiner always talks about unfolding, opening up slowly over a period of time through different milestones. So, do I, as a parent, trust that my child will unfold at their own pace? In fact, even for me, do I trust my own unfolding? Am I unfolding? Or do I start crying when I get some heart blocks situations in life? Why me? Why is this happening? Let the problem go away, or something like that. So, the question is, do I trust this unfolding process, which is natural, which is at its own pace, or do I see the visible progress? My child rolled over at 2 months and sat up and started walking, started talking at 14 months, and things like that. That's a visible progress. And you will see this restlessness come into the parent if the child doesn't speak until they're like 2 years old, 2.5, 3, or they don't walk. We start visiting doctors as to what could be wrong. Well, getting it checked is okay, but getting paranoid about it and stressing the child, that's where this thing comes up. If everything is fine and child is still not speaking or walking, then what is the child resisting at a soul level? What is the child not comfortable unfolding right now? This is similar to a seed unfolding to become a tree. Now, I have done my job of creating the environment, and the seed is not sprouting. What could be the reason? Is there too much of water? Is there too little of water? Is there too much of fertilizer? What is it? Then I need to begin adjusting my environment. We have talked about enough of this before, but this unfolding process calls in for understanding and also for the patience. Rather than giving in to the anxiety when the milestones are slow or are not met. And what is it that helps us slow down? Many of us, most of us, operate out of this limbic brain, automatic responses. Any situation that comes up, we take it up as fight it, run away from it, sometimes freeze at it, sometimes out of fear. And there are so many fears. We are conditioned by the environment around us. Even if it were not my parents, even if I as a parent am not bringing that conditioning on my child, it's the world around. The child is going to school, they're on the bus, they're with their friends. So, am I operating out of that limbic brain, or am I using my buddhi, my intellect, in a way to understand this whole human development itself? And I need to move from those disturbances of the mind that have created, based on conditioning, based on fears, the instant reaction I fall into. I listen to anybody and everybody, and now ChatGPT, Google up ChatGPT, get the answers, and 20,000 things may be happening. True, but am I getting anxious about it, paranoid about it, and am I rushing to pressurize my child? Comparison is one of those things. Peer pressure academically is one of those things. We keep talking about, because we develop curriculum for preschools, and we don't have books really for writing. They do a lot of pre-writing as activities, but writing itself, we don't have those 4-line books. And schools and teachers, parents also, we need to have, because other school is doing all of these things with my child. Somewhere the fear is driving. We are not even analyzing the fear. We are just reacting to that fear. and somewhere I lose trust in this unfolding process. Let the child be. Things are really beautiful. Provide the environment. I'm not saying don't go to another extreme where, oh, we should just let them do whatever. No, we do have healthy boundaries. We do have imitatable, worthy of imitation environment. Because the fear is asking for a guarantee. Tell me for sure that your curriculum without any books, with no writing, will help my child become XYZ in X amount, X many years. Asking for guarantee. And we give fake guarantees in schools, and parents buy it. We say, oh, you'll get the best environment. We have IIT, JEE preparation right from grade 1. We give tabs and we do that, we do this. We all are so happy. We go enroll my child into that. Not even think if it's helping or upsetting the child's progress. We don't even question that. My fear is addressed. And then I enroll. And then when the time comes, 6 years, 7 years down the road, my child has been studying in your school only. Why is he lagging behind? And again, the schools will promise, don't worry, enroll him in the remedial program. And we add this additional. Typically, all these remedial programs are after school. I'm already exhausted by the school work. Now I add on more to it. Unless I understand this unfolding. And don't rush through it. It's not like I can rush the dawn to the morning sun. It has to go through that process. Unfolding of a flower, the bud opening up to become a flower. I cannot pull the petals out and make it look like a fresh bloomed, beautiful flower. It will only wilt. Like seed becoming a tree. We know all of these. We soak moong dal, the whole moong at night, and we wait for overnight to soak and then another 12 hours for it to sprout. But somehow with child, I'm impatient. So somewhere I need to understand that there is a plan for the child. There is a destiny. And that helps when I look at myself, look at all my incidents. That's what we do in biography work. Go back to all the incidents that have happened in my life that have shaped, and at that time I may have felt it was a disaster. But then there is many connections I made, much I learned about myself, my own health, my own temperament, my own actions, reactions to the situations, and it was the best thing that happened. You ask many learned people, who have gone through lots of problems, would they change anything in their past? Many of them would say no. Given an opportunity, they would go back through the same thing because they learned a lot. Right? Making it easy for children, making it quick for children is not helping child unfold. Right? It is coming to being, becoming human. It's a process. I cannot just put something together like manufacture the child like a car. I have to wait. Only I can do is create the space, protect the space, make the space safe and secure, including for myself. Right now I'm adult. I cannot blame my parents did not do that. My situation was not that great, blah, blah. No, I can't. The world is definitely conditioning us. Early reading. Oh, your child is so smart. My child isn't reading yet. Enroll them in more classes, swimming, dancing, cricket, name it, we enroll them. That means I'm a better parent. I'm providing so many opportunities for my child. I definitely went through that syndrome. I was lazy parent and I would not want to drive my children to distances. So I would just enroll them. If at all there was something in the neighborhood where children could walk on their own, I would. And then when children said, no, I don't want to go there anymore, I said, okay, fine. And then I would feel guilty. Oh my God, I did not enroll him in this and that and that. And maybe it helped. Maybe it did not, I'm not sure. I mean, there are parents who, especially, the children who have accomplished, who are like dancers and musicians, and parents have put in a lot of effort, driven them from place to place, and one of the parent has sacrificed their career. There are all those stories as well. But that doesn't mean more classes means better parenting, no. Anything we do is fine as long as I'm not anxious, I'm not pushing, I'm not pressurizing, I'm enjoying as much as my children are. Right? So somewhere there is a belief, if I do not push now, my child will suffer later. And so we start beginning to push. And we see that in the environment, a lot of advertisement. Now you see with summer camps, so many things, get your child brain ready, public speaker. There was a friend of mine did it, 1.5 hour program, public speaking online, and they achieved 20 skills in 1.5 hours. And parents were just enrolling their children. I need to believe that child is already living the life. The life is already happening to them. There's nothing really, that's a process, that living it. I should not curtail it. Somewhere, if I can bring in that rhythm, trust, rhythm of the nature, align with the rhythm of the nature, and bring that sensory life, bring that sense of beauty, sense of reverence, and then unfolding will naturally happen. Of course, child will be successful as well, because that, we do that now. We are so stressed, we don't know what to do, so we go and enroll ourselves in some meditation class. They ask you to just close your eyes and sit there for hours. Slow down. Then you have an idea and you work on it. Same thing happens with children. Right? So I need to look at allowing child to unfold is nourishing the environment around the child, around myself, so I could take my time to unfold in the right way, so I can last long. I become this lifelong learner rather than score well in the 10th grade exams and then drop out of college. You see many examples of those also these days. Right? So somewhere as a parent, I don't try to overcompensate, overdo. Because when I start doing that, I'm giving a message to the child, okay, whatever you are isn't good enough. You need to take these extra classes. You need to go for extra support. Somewhere that belief stays that I'm not good enough. And even with the best of the best opportunities coming my way later on, I may shy away because there is this deep belief about myself. So just have this image of a gardener. Gardener is not going into the garden to prune, to weed, whatever. He's just going to clean the environment, support it, wait, knowing very well that there is season for everything. And that's what we would like to develop patience for. Thank you.